Hi friends, today we are going to see how to create virtual servers or VIP with using services. In our last video, we have done the exercise where we have created a VIP by using service group. In this video, we will see how we can create a VIP with the help of service. So let me show you our lab first. This is going to be our lab. Remember, this is our lab. This is our LAN PC having 10.0.0.4. Our ADC with IP 10.0.0.11. We have created subnet IP earlier, and the VIP, for this VIP we have created a service group svcg underscore RGB, right? That is our service group which we have already done. Now in this video, what we are going to go, we will create svc red svc. We will create 3 services with the name of svc red, green and blue, and then third will be svc and blue. This service group we are going to create, and for this service group we will bind this service group with this red one. For this green, we will bind this service group with this green one, and then the blue service group will be binded with this blue server. So we will create a service group first. Sorry, not service group. We will create a service, 3 services. Individual services will be binded with these individual servers, and then we will bind all this service to a new VIP. We are going to create a new VIP here, and for that VIP we will use a different IP. This 11 is created for this service group, and we are going to create a new VIP. Let me type it here. New VIP will be, we can say, let's take an example, 10.0.0.13. You can create, or let's create from the same subnet 172.21.10.12. So 12 will be for the services and 11 is for the service group. So let's start our machine, LAN machine and the Netscaler. So I have switched on my LAN machine. Let's quickly open the browser and try to access the Netscaler from the GUI. Our IP is 10.0.0.11. Enter. Before we start, let's quickly recall the last configuration which we have done in our Netscaler. So go to traffic management, load balancing, virtual server. You can see this virtual server we have created in the last video with .11 IP, which is using the service group with the name of svcg RGB, and this service group is on again port 80, and we have 3 backend server. Let's try to quickly access to the server. You can see green, red and blue, right? Now we will do the same thing by using service. So quickly go to the service tab, click on add, give the name svc underscore red. You can use existing server because we have already a server. Now see here difference. Whenever we are creating a service, it's asking here only to bind. So we need to select for red. We are going to use red. Okay. Done. Now create the green one. Service group, not group, service for green. Select here the green server. Okay. Done. Create one more service with the name of blue. Use blue. Okay, and done. You can see all these 3 service is showing services. Server state is up, port is 80, protocol is HTTP protocol. So it's showing up. Now we need to create a new virtual server, and we will bind that virtual server with this service. Instead of binding this service group, we can also call this service inside the virtual server. Quickly go and create a virtual server, vserver underscore RGB. I will put it as VC. So it means it will, by this name, we can say, okay, this is for service. Asking for the IP address, give 172.21.10 dot, what was the IP? Let me recall it. It is for 12, right? So quickly go and give 12 here. Okay. Now it's showing down because we have not binded any services behind this server so that it can check the status actual. So now here we will use this option directly here. Instead of going out and coming back, we will use this. So you can see services and service group. No load balancing virtual servers are binding, or no load balancing virtual servers service group binding. So click on no load balancing virtual service binding. Select the service, click here. Either you can select one by one, select bind, or you can bind all these three services at a time. Click here, select all, bind, and bind. Continue. That's it, and click on done. See, my service VIP is also up. My service group VIP is also up. Now let's quickly try to access this service. See, refresh. You can see it's forwarding traffic to all the backend server. So this is with the help of service, and now the same way we can access for service group status. So either you can use service group or you can use service. The process of distributing load traffic or status checking the status of the server, it will remain same in both cases. You can see that. So this is the way where you can create a VIP by using a service. As of now, we have not touched the monitoring part. So if you go and just check here, click on this service group VIP, you can see there is no monitoring option here, right? Go back, click on the VIP of the service. You will not see any monitoring method here. Anything which is showing as plus, it means that feature is not enabled in this particular VIP. Like we have not enabled policies, method, persistence, protection, profiles. These are not enabled features. And we are not seeing any monitoring, because monitoring you cannot do on the VIP. You need to go to the service. Now go here and click on any of the service. You will see one monitor is binded by default. We have not binded any monitor here. What is the purpose of monitor? This monitor feature is to check the actual status of the server, whether the server is up or down. So if you go and click on this, you will see by default it has taken a TCP default monitor for this service, which will do a three-way handset to the backend server. Now close this. The same if you go to the green one, you will see the default monitor is binded TCP default here. Close. Go to the blue one. We have not touched this option, right? It is by default. It's TCP default. So by default, monitor is TCP default. By default, load balancing method is list connection. Now quickly go to the service group also. Let's go and check the service group method. Click here. See, 3 service group binded members. If you go and click on monitor details, you will see TCP default. So here it's showing on the group members monitor directly, like the way it was showing in the case of service group. It is showing via members. This is the only difference, but in both cases it is using TCP default. So we will discuss the monitor tab, how we can create a new monitor, how we can customize this monitor, how we can tweak this monitor part in our next coming video. But for this video, we saw that how we created a virtual server with the help of service, binded the service, and it's working fine with this protocol port 80. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day.